Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Similarly, ikhwan, from the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as it relates to the ahkam of fasting, that which is related to the iftar, that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he would break his fast, he would break his fast upon rutabat. He would break his fast upon the soft date, which is that date that after it leaves that hard stage, and some of you may have seen, ikhwan, in some of the grocery stores, the dates when they are in that hard, yellowy stage. The stage that comes after that, ikhwan, is the stage when it becomes rutab. They become soft dates. Concerning that, we have the hadith of Anas ibn Malik, radiyallahu anhu, that occurs in the musnad of Al-Imam Ahmad, and similarly in Sunan Abi Dawood, when the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, or when Anas ibn Malik mentioned, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يفتر على رطبات قبل أن يصلي فإن لم يكن رطبات فتمرات فإن لم يكن تمرات حصوات من ماء. That he mentions that the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم used to break his fast upon rutabat, those soft dates. And if it was not rutabat, then tamrat. Then the regular dates with tamrat, which are the chewier date, yani the date that is in its later stage. Then he mentioned that if it is not the tamrat, if it was not the tamrat, then he would take some gulps of water. He would take something from water. Similarly, ikhwan, concerning the iftar, from the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon this ummah, is that Allah Azza wa Jal has given to the one who takes his iftar a dua that is not rejected. Concerning that, we have the hadith of Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As radiyallahu anhu that occurs in the Sunan of Ibn Majah with an authentic chain of narration declared Sahih by Sheikh Nasir, and all of the ahadith that we've mentioned have been declared Sahih by Sheikh Nasir rahimahullah. He mentions that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Inna lis-sa'imi 'inda fitrihi la da'watun ma turad." That he mentions that indeed for the one who fasts, when he breaks his fast, he has a dua that is not rejected. Now, concerning the fasting person, ikhwan, that which is wajib upon the fasting person to leave alone, after the food and the drink and relations, is that he leaves alone, ikhwan, evil speech. He leaves alone lewdness. He leaves alone swearing. He leaves alone that which has in it, ikhwan, evil, as has been clarified by our sharia. Concerning that, we have the statement of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man lam yada' qawl az-zur wal 'amal bih." Whoever does not leave alone qawl az-zur, whoever doesn't leave alone qawl az-zur, the statement of evil, yani falsehood, wal 'amal bih, and acting upon it, فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ, then indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have a need for him to leave alone his food and drink. That doesn't mean, ikhwan, that if a person swears, mathalan, in his day, during his fast, that he now breaks his fast and leaves alone food and drink. Rather, he continues to fast and he makes tawbah to Allah Azza wa Jal for that which has come to him or come upon him by way of deficiency and by way of lewd speech. Similarly, ikhwan, we have the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam that occurs in Sunan Ibn Majah, when the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, رُبَّ صَائِمٍ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ صِيَامِهِ إِلَّا الْجُوعَ وَالْعَطَشِ. That he mentioned, it is possible that a person fasts and he has nothing from his fast other than hunger and thirst. Now, and concerning, ikhwan, those things that break a person's fast, then without doubt, at the head of them, that he eats food and drink. Similarly, ikhwan, that he has sexual relations. Similarly, that he intentionally vomits. And if a person vomits intentionally, then that is from the affairs, ikhwan, that breaks his fast. Similarly, if he takes an injection that nourishes his body, with that condition, an injection that nourishes his body. For not every injection breaks the fast, but those injections that nourish the body, then they break the fast. And naturally, that will be ascertained from your doctor if you need to take an injection, you would ascertain from him, is it an injection that nourishes the body? If it does, then it breaks the fast. And if not, then it is permissible for a person to take such an injection. Now, and from the affairs that is permissible for the fasting person to do, is that it is permissible for him to rise and he is junub. That mathalan a person, ikhwan, takes his suhoor mathalan, and that he has relations with his wife, and then for instance he falls asleep. And then he rises after the time for Fajr has begun. It is permissible for him to rise while being in a state of janaba. It is permissible for him to rise while being in a state of janaba. And without doubt, ikhwan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows eating and drinking and relations up until the time that Fajr begins. And that goes without doubt by necessity, that if we're allowed to eat and drink and have relations until the time that Fajr begins, it goes without doubt, ikhwan, that we're going to see the beginnings of Fajr while being in a state of janaba. So it is permissible for the fasting person to rise and to see his Fajr while he's in a state of janaba. Similarly, ikhwan, it is permissible for the fasting person to utilize his miswak, just as it is permissible for him to make the mother to gargle and to take water into his nose. Similarly, ikhwan, it is permissible for the fasting person to cup, to get himself blood cupped. And that is, ikhwan, in the beginnings of Islam, we had the fact that the blood cupping was from the reasons that broke one's fast. But thereon after, ikhwan, it was abrogated by the fact that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam ihtajama wa huwa sa'im, that the Messenger cupped while he was fasting, and that is the position of a great number of the muhaqqiqeen and the scholars of al-Islam, that the one who is cupped during his fast, that does not break his fast. And similarly, ikhwan, it is permissible for the person who is fasting and the person who is staying away from food before his iftar, it is permissible for him or her to taste something from food without swallowing. And that, ikhwan, should not be transgressed against. Rather, it is a permissibility for instance, a woman who has to prepare the food that is going to be eaten during iftar. It is permissible for her to taste something from the food. And that occurs, ikhwan, in the narration of Ibn Abbas, that occurs in Sahih Bukhari, wherein Ibn Abbas mentioned, لا بأس أن يذوق الخل والشيء ما لم يدخل حلقه وهو صائم. That it is permissible for the fasting individual, لا بأس, there is nothing wrong with the fasting individual to taste al-khal, which is vinegar, or something, as long as it does not reach his throat. As long as it does not reach his throat. So that is permissible for all of the fasting people, knowing, ikhwan, that the fasting, as we mentioned, is a source of barakah and a source of khair, and something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes by way of it to purify us by way of, and not to cause a burden upon us. يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم. Allah wants for you ease, and He does not want for you hardship, and He wants for you to complete the period. والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد.